Getting rich is difficult, but remaining rich is a different kind of battle. Many people know how to make money during favorable times. They discover a profitable business, receive a large contract, become famous, inherit property, make a successful investment, or enjoy an unusually high income. For a moment, they appear powerful. Their lifestyle changes. Their confidence rises. Friends begin to respect them. Relatives approach them for assistance, and strangers suddenly become interested in their success. But wealth that arrives without structure often disappears without warning. The real test of wealth is not how much money enters your hands. It is how much control you retain after money has attracted pressure, competition, temptation, betrayal, and responsibility. A Machiavellian approach to wealth does not mean becoming cruel, dishonest, or criminal. It means seeing the world as it is, rather than as you wish it to be. It means understanding that people have interests, markets change, loyalty is not guaranteed, success attracts attention, and fortune can disappear when it is not protected. To become rich and remain rich, you must learn how to create value, control resources, understand people, protect your position, and prepare for circumstances that have not yet arrived. Wealth begins with control, not consumption. Poor thinking asks, "What can I buy with this money?" Wealthy thinking asks, "What can this money control?" Money can control productive assets, businesses, intellectual property, land, technology, distribution channels, information, attention, and skilled labor. When money is used only for consumption, it disappears. When it is used to acquire productive control, it can create more money. The first rule of lasting wealth is simple. Never allow your lifestyle to grow faster than your productive assets. When your income increases, the temptation is immediately to prove that you have succeeded. You want a more expensive apartment, a better car, designer clothes, luxury trips, and visible evidence of progress. These things may bring temporary satisfaction, but they can also create permanent financial obligations. The dangerous thing about luxury is not always its purchase price. It is the cost of maintaining the identity connected to it. Once people know you as the person with the expensive car, large house, and generous lifestyle, reducing your spending becomes emotionally difficult. You begin to spend not because you need something, but because you are protecting an image. That image can become your prison. A strategically wealthy person enjoys life, but remains difficult to financially predict. He does not reveal his full capacity through his lifestyle. His possessions do not tell the complete story of his assets. He understands that visible wealth attracts admiration, but invisible wealth creates security. Do not look rich before you are powerful. There is a difference between looking rich and being financially powerful. A person may wear expensive clothes and still depend on next month's salary. Another person may live modestly while owning businesses, properties, investments, and valuable intellectual assets. The first person has an appearance, the second person has leverage. Looking rich can sometimes produce opportunities, especially in industries where presentation matters. However, when appearance becomes more important than financial strength, destruction begins. A Machiavellian thinker carefully manages perception. He understands that reputation matters, but he does not sacrifice reality for appearance. Use appearance as a tool, not as your identity. Dress appropriately for the rooms you want to enter. Present yourself professionally. Build credibility. Communicate confidence, but never spend your financial foundation merely to impress people who will not rescue you when your money runs out. The world often respects results more than explanations. Therefore, let people see enough success to trust your competence, but not enough information to calculate your entire financial position. Privacy is part of financial security. Build wealth where other people cannot easily remove you. An employee may earn a high salary, but if one person can terminate that income, the employee is not fully secure. A social media creator may earn millions, but if an algorithm change can destroy the audience, the creator is exposed. A contractor may appear successful, but if one political connection controls every contract, the business is fragile. A trader may earn large profits, but if one market collapse can destroy everything, the trader is not protected. Lasting wealth requires reducing the number of people or events that can completely remove your income. This does not mean you must work alone. It means your survival should not depend entirely on one gatekeeper. Diversify your sources of power. Have more than one client. Build more than one valuable skill. Own the customer relationship where you can. Create systems that operate without your constant presence. Keep access to your audience. Document your processes. Build intellectual property. Develop relationships across different industries. Keep emergency liquidity. The goal is not to eliminate all risk. That is impossible. The goal is to ensure that one person, one customer, one employer, one platform, or one bad month cannot destroy everything you have built.
Become difficult to replace. Money naturally moves toward people who solve important problems. If your work can be easily replaced, your income will always be under pressure. Someone cheaper, faster, or connected can take your position. To increase your value, combine skills that are rarely found together. A software developer who understands banking operations is more valuable than one who only writes code. A statistician who understands football, content creation, and product development has more options than someone with theoretical knowledge alone. A marketer who understands psychology, data analysis, and automation can produce results that ordinary advertisers cannot. A mechanical engineer who understands manufacturing, product design, and commercial distribution can move beyond employment into industrial ownership. Wealth often comes from occupying an intersection where demand is high and competition is limited. Do not merely ask, "What skill should I learn?" Ask, "What combination of skills will make me difficult to replace?" Your advantage may come from combining technical ability with communication, industry knowledge, sales, leadership, negotiation, or distribution. The strongest position is not being the best in only one area. It is becoming unusually competent across several connected areas. Own the system, not only the labor. Labor creates income, but systems create scale. When you sell only your time, your earnings are limited by your physical and mental capacity. You may earn well, but there are only 24 hours in a day. To become truly wealthy, part of your income must eventually come from systems that continue producing value when you are not directly working. A system could be a business with trained employees, software that customers pay to use, a manufacturing process, a media library that continues attracting an audience, a digital platform, a licensing arrangement, a distribution network, a property generating rent, a repeatable consulting framework, a subscription service, a valuable brand, a portfolio of productive investments. The objective is not to stop working. The objective is to make your previous work continue working for you. A person who works for every naira must begin again every morning. A person who owns productive systems wakes up with machinery already in motion. This is one of the dividing lines between high income and real wealth. Control distribution. A good product without distribution can remain invisible forever. Many talented people stay poor because they focus entirely on creation and ignore access. They believe quality alone will attract customers. Sometimes it does, often it does not. The person who controls distribution may earn more than the person who created the product. Distribution means controlling how value reaches the market. It could be an email list, retail network, website, sales team, social media audience, marketplace, agent network, affiliate system, logistics operation, a community, or strategic partnership. When you depend entirely on another person's platform, you may be building wealth on rented land. Use platforms, but also build channels you control. Convert social media followers into email subscribers. Convert casual visitors into registered users. Convert one-time customers into repeat buyers. Convert individual transactions into long-term relationships. Convert your knowledge into content people can repeatedly discover. The person who owns customer access has negotiating power. The person who depends entirely on someone else for access must obey that person's rules. Never become financially dependent on applause. Public attention can be profitable, but it is unstable. When your identity depends on people praising your success, you may begin making poor financial decisions to maintain that praise. You may buy things you cannot comfortably afford. You may give money to people who do not respect boundaries. You may enter businesses you do not understand because they look impressive. You may refuse to admit mistakes because you fear appearing unsuccessful. You may remain in a failing project because you publicly announced that it would succeed. A person controlled by applause can also be controlled by criticism. Lasting wealth requires emotional independence. You must be willing to look temporarily ordinary while building something extraordinary. You must be willing to disappoint people who feel entitled to your money. You must be willing to leave an unprofitable venture, even when others may call you a failure. You must be willing to start again. You must be willing to say no. A financially powerful person is not someone who can buy everything. It is someone who cannot easily be pressured into buying what does not serve his goals. Use debt carefully. Debt is neither automatically good nor automatically bad. It is an instrument. Used intelligently, debt can help acquire productive assets, finance expansion, or accelerate a proven business model. Used carelessly, it can transfer control of your future income to someone else. The crucial question is not, can I borrow this money? The question is, what will this debt produce? Debt used to acquire something that generates reliable cash flow may be strategic. Debt used to maintain an unsustainable lifestyle is dangerous. Before borrowing, calculate. How will repayment be made? What happens if revenue falls? Is the interest rate fixed or variable? Is personal property at risk? What is the worst realistic outcome? Can the asset be sold? Does the debt depend on optimistic assumptions? How long will the obligation remain? Never judge debt only by whether you can afford the monthly payment today. Consider whether you can afford it during a difficult year. The lender studies how to recover the money. You must study how to preserve your freedom. Protect cash flow. Profit can be theoretical. Cash flow is survival. A company may appear profitable on paper while lacking enough cash to pay employees, suppliers, taxes, or rent. A person may own valuable assets but still be unable to handle an urgent expense. Wealth preservation requires liquidity. Keep enough accessible funds to survive disruptions without selling important assets at the worst possible time. When emergencies arrive, desperate people accept bad deals. They sell valuable property below market price. They borrow at dangerous interest rates. They surrender equity. They accept exploitative partnerships. They make emotional decisions because they need immediate cash. Liquidity gives you time, and time gives you negotiation power. Maintain personal emergency reserves. Maintain business operating reserves. Prepare for taxes. Insure major risks where appropriate. Avoid investing every available amount in opportunities that cannot be easily converted to cash. The person with liquidity can wait. The person without liquidity must obey circumstances. Separate ownership from appearance. Do not assume that because someone's name is publicly connected to an asset, that person has complete control over it. Real financial control involves legal ownership, voting rights, contractual authority, access, documentation, and enforceable claims. As your wealth grows, organize it properly. Keep accurate records. Register businesses correctly. Document loans and investments. Use appropriate legal structures. Protect intellectual property. Maintain tax compliance. Write a valid will. Create succession plans. Keep important documents secure. Make sure trusted representatives know how to act during emergencies. Many families lose wealth after the founder dies because the entire operation existed only inside one person's mind. Passwords are unknown, properties are undocumented, business relationships are informal, relatives begin fighting, employees take advantage of confusion, customers leave, debts emerge unexpectedly. A wealthy person who refuses to plan for death is building temporary wealth. If you want your wealth to remain, it must survive your absence. Create several layers of defense. Wealth should not have only one protective wall. Your first defense is knowledge. Understand what you own. Your second defense is documentation. Prove what you own. Your third defense is diversification. Avoid concentrating everything in one place. Your fourth defense is liquidity. Keep enough cash to survive disruption. Your fifth defense is insurance. Transfer certain risks where appropriate. Your sixth defense is reputation. People are less likely to attack someone with strong social credibility and reliable relationships. Your seventh defense is legal structure. Use contracts, registered entities, and professional guidance. Your eighth defense is operational security. Protect passwords, financial information, business data, and internal systems. Your ninth defense is succession. Ensure wealth can transfer without chaos. Your final defense is personal discipline. Without discipline, every other wall can be destroyed from inside. Do not fight every battle. Pride has destroyed many wealthy people. Some people will insult you. Competitors may criticize you. Former employees may speak negatively about you. Relatives may accuse you of arrogance because you created financial boundaries. You do not need to respond to everything. Every battle has a cost. It may consume time, money, concentration, reputation, or emotional stability. Before reacting, ask, will winning this argument improve my position? Is the accusation influencing important customers or partners? Can silence make the issue disappear? Would a private response be more effective than a public confrontation? Am I protecting the business or merely defending my ego? A wise person understands that being underestimated can sometimes be useful. You do not need everyone to know that you are right. You need your important interests to remain protected. Respond decisively when necessary, but do not let enemies choose how you spend your attention. Build alliances before you need them. Do not wait until you are in trouble before building relationships. People can recognize desperation. When you approach them only because you need money, introductions, contracts, or protection, your negotiation position is weak. Build relationships when you have something to contribute. Help others solve problems. Share useful information. Make strategic introductions. Keep your word. Pay people on time. Respect confidentiality. Be valuable before asking for value. Strong networks are not built by collecting phone numbers. They are built by repeated evidence that you are competent, reliable, and useful. However, do not confuse access with friendship. A person may respect your ability without caring about your personal well-being. Another person may genuinely care about you, but lack the competence to advise you financially. Understand the role each relationship plays. Choose accountants for financial competence. Choose lawyers for legal competence. Choose business partners for strategic alignment. Choose friends for character and trust. One person does not need to fulfill every role. Treat reputation as capital. A strong reputation can reduce the cost of doing business. People may trust you with larger opportunities. Customers may pay in advance. Partners may introduce you to valuable networks. Talented people may want to work with you. Investors may listen more carefully. But reputation takes years to build and can be damaged by one careless decision. Protect your name. Do not promise what you cannot deliver. Do not misuse people's money. Do not publicly humiliate those who disagree with you. Correct mistakes quickly. Pay legitimate debts. Keep confidential information private. Avoid unnecessary association with fraudulent activity. Be careful about the people who publicly represent your brand. A strategic person understands that character is not only a moral issue, it is also an economic asset. When people cannot trust your word, every transaction becomes slower and more expensive.
Do not reveal all your weaknesses or pretend you have none. Everyone has weaknesses. The danger is allowing the wrong people to discover weaknesses they can exploit. You do not need to reveal every financial difficulty, internal disagreement, or personal fear to casual associates. Information should be shared according to trust, responsibility, and necessity. At the same time, refusing to acknowledge weaknesses can be equally dangerous. A leader who pretends everything is perfect may ignore problems until they become irreversible. Privately confront reality. Know where your business is vulnerable. Know which customer represents too much revenue. Know which employee possesses undocumented knowledge. Know which debt could become dangerous. Know which skill you lack. Know which investment you do not truly understand. Public confidence should be supported by private honesty. Never lie to yourself. Adapt before circumstances force you. Fortune changes. Industries decline. Technology replaces old systems. Government policies change. Customer preferences shift. New competitors appear. Economic conditions become difficult. The person who remains rich is not always the person who began with the greatest advantage. It is often the person who recognized change early and adapted before everyone else. Do not become emotionally attached to the method that first made you successful. The strategy that created your wealth may not preserve it. A newspaper owner may need to become a digital media company. A traditional retailer may need e-commerce. A software company may need to adapt to artificial intelligence. A trader may need stronger risk controls. A content creator may need to build products outside social media. A professional may need to move from employment to ownership. Respect your past, but do not become trapped by it. Your objective is not merely to protect an old method. Your objective is to protect your ability to create value. Make yourself useful during difficult times. Easy times create many wealthy-looking people. Difficult times reveal who has real strength. During economic growth, almost every business may appear intelligent. During a downturn, weak systems become visible. Prepare your wealth to survive unfavorable conditions. Reduce unnecessary fixed costs. Avoid excessive debt. Maintain good relationships with customers. Keep operational records accurate. Develop products that solve essential problems. Build flexible teams. Keep reserves. Study how your industry behaves during recessions. During difficult periods, people still spend money, but they become more selective. Businesses still buy, but they focus on results. Investors still invest, but they demand stronger evidence. Employees still move, but they prefer stability. If you can solve urgent problems when others are confused, difficult periods may strengthen your position. Control your generosity. Generosity is admirable, but uncontrolled generosity can destroy the giver. When people know you have money, requests may increase. Some requests will be genuine. Some will come from people facing emergencies. Some will come from individuals who have developed a habit of transferring responsibility to others. Some will use emotional pressure. Some will accuse you of pride when you refuse. Some will compare your visible lifestyle with their private problems. If you give without a structure, your money will gradually become public property. Create a generosity budget. Decide what percentage of your income can be used for family support, charity, and community obligations. Separate gifts from loans. Do not call money a loan when you know you cannot enforce repayment. Do not risk your financial foundation to solve every crisis. Support people in ways that encourage independence where possible. Pay school fees directly instead of handing over unmonitored cash. Fund tools, training, or business equipment when appropriate. Create clear boundaries. You cannot remain powerful if everyone around you is permitted to make financial decisions on your behalf. Avoid the trap of permanent expansion. Growth is attractive, but uncontrolled growth can destroy a profitable business. A company may expand into new cities, hire too many people, launch too many products, or borrow too aggressively. Revenue increases, but complexity rises faster. Not every opportunity deserves acceptance. Sometimes the most profitable decision is to remain focused. Before expanding, ask, is the current business stable? Are processes documented? Can quality be maintained? Is demand proven? Do we have competent managers? Can we survive if the expansion underperforms? Are we expanding for profit or for prestige? Expansion should increase strength, not merely size. A smaller business with strong margins, loyal customers, and low debt may be more powerful than a large company constantly struggling to survive. Do not confuse movement with progress. Turn income into assets, then assets into institutions. The path to lasting wealth has stages. First, you earn income. Second, you save capital. Third, you use capital to acquire productive assets. Fourth, you organize those assets into systems. Fifth, you transform the systems into institutions that can survive without you. Many people stop at the first stage. They earn well, but own little. Some reach the second stage and save money, but inflation and consumption slowly reduce it. Others acquire assets, but manage them carelessly. The highest level is institutional wealth. Institutional wealth is organized. It has governance. It has records. It has competent management. It has succession. It has culture. It has processes. It can continue operating when the founder is unavailable. The true meaning of remaining rich forever is not that one individual lives forever. It means the value created during one lifetime continues benefiting future generations. Teach the next generation competence, not entitlement. Children who inherit wealth without understanding sacrifice, risk, and responsibility may destroy what took decades to build. Do not teach the next generation only how to enjoy wealth. Teach them how it was created. Let them understand the businesses. Teach them financial statements. Teach them negotiation. Teach them to work. Teach them the difference between assets and liabilities. Teach them that family wealth is not unlimited personal spending money. Give responsibility gradually. Allow controlled mistakes. Observe their character before granting authority. Do not transfer enormous power to someone merely because of blood. Inheritance without preparation can become a curse. The goal is not simply to leave wealth for your children. The goal is to leave children who are capable of managing wealth. Keep learning after you become successful. Early success can create dangerous confidence. Once people praise your intelligence, you may stop questioning yourself. You begin believing that because one decision worked, all your future decisions will work. This is how successful people lose fortunes. They enter industries they do not understand. They ignore experts. They assume past success proves universal wisdom. They invest emotionally. They increase risk because they believe they are unusually gifted. Remain a student. Study accounting. Understand taxation. Learn negotiation. Study psychology. Understand technology. Study your competitors. Review your failures. Listen to people who can disagree with you intelligently. Avoid surrounding yourself only with people who praise you. Praise protects your ego. Honest information protects your wealth. Know when to exit. Entering an opportunity requires courage. Exiting one requires discipline. People hold failing investments because they do not want to admit they were wrong. They continue funding unprofitable businesses. They remain in destructive partnerships. They protect products customers no longer want. They refuse reasonable offers because they expect unrealistic prices. A strategic person separates identity from decisions.
You are not your investment. You are not your company. You are not your prediction. A failed decision does not make you a failure, but refusing to correct it may eventually turn one mistake into permanent damage. Establish your exit conditions before emotions take control. Decide how much loss you are willing to accept. Define the performance an investment must achieve. Review your assumptions regularly. When the original reason for entering an investment no longer exists, have the discipline to reconsider your position. Sometimes protecting your capital is more important than protecting your pride. The final law: protect the source. Every wealthy person has a primary source of strength. It may be specialized knowledge, customer trust, advanced technology, a distribution network, a manufacturing capacity, a respected brand, valuable relationships, available capital, intellectual property, or unusual personal discipline. Identify the source of your advantage, protect it, strengthen it. Never become so fascinated by the rewards that you neglect the engine producing them. Many people lose their wealth because success distracts them from the activity that originally created value. The athlete stops training. The business owner stops listening to customers. The creator stops producing excellent work. The professional stops learning. The investor abandons risk management. The founder becomes more interested in status than operations. Wealth begins to disappear when attention moves away from its source. Enjoy the rewards of success, but continue feeding the system that produces them. To become rich, you must create value. To remain rich, you must protect value. To preserve wealth across generations, you must organize value. The Machiavellian approach to wealth is not about deceiving people, exploiting the vulnerable, or breaking the law. Such behavior may produce temporary gains, but it also creates enemies, legal exposure, instability, and fear. True strategic wealth is built through clear observation, disciplined action, and intelligent protection. See people clearly without becoming bitter. Build alliances without becoming dependent. Be generous without surrendering control. Manage appearances without becoming trapped by them. Take calculated risks without risking total destruction. Trust people, but support trust with contracts, systems, and accountability. Enjoy money, but never allow enjoyment to consume the source of your income. Remain ambitious, but never become too proud to change direction. The poor man thinks only about today. The comfortable man thinks about next year. The wealthy strategist thinks about the next generation. Make money quietly. Build systems patiently. Protect your reputation carefully. Control your expenses ruthlessly. Invest intelligently. Prepare for betrayal without becoming disloyal. Prepare for difficult times without becoming fearful. Prepare for success without becoming careless. Your objective should not merely be to experience wealth once. Your objective should be to build a financial kingdom so productive, protected, and well organized that your absence cannot immediately destroy it. That is how you become rich. That is how you remain rich. And that is how wealth outlives the person who created it.